Hey folks, it's finally dry, so today we're going to try to get some sweet corn in the ground. Alright, got the field cultivator hooked up to the 6410. I got a few servicing items I need to do on this. Broke a few shanks on it a while back. Finally got those in, so I need to put those on. Put the sweeps on. Give it a good grease job because we were using it to help my buddy Brent on some of his ground. So we're going to get that done and then head down to the field and start working some ground. Alright, so an hour or so later, we've got our new shanks put on and new shovels. I guess it's kind of dark in there. But we were missing one on the back, so let me get a little, see that. Yeah, that's nice, new, shiny. So serviced up 6410 fluids, all topped off, everything looks good. So now we are going to go head to the field. It would be nice if the air conditioner worked in this tractor. It does not, but that is on the list of things to do. Latest we've ever gotten to plant sweet corn. So we're going to get some hopefully in the ground today. If not today, we'll get it in the morning. It's supposed to rain tomorrow night, so we've got time to get it in today. And then we'll start planting and working on some green beans later on. As you can see, we're back at the barn. Got the fancy sprayer hooked up. Got done with all the tillage that we need to do right now, so I'll head down to the other barn because we got to take that back over to Indiana when we go home tonight, because there's some ground over there. Hopefully we can get work tomorrow and sprayed and plant some ornamental corn over there. So that's what we're going to put it over there this year. But right now it's really too windy to spray, but there's still a few things I have to do on the sprayer. I have to get the GPS hooked up. I got a new GPS Trimble system for this, so I got to get all that hooked up and make sure it works, and probably put some more water in there just to make sure we don't have any leaks or anything like that. That way in the morning I can get up, come over here, throw some chemical in it, and we can hammer down. It shouldn't take too long to spray what we got to spray. We've only got about maybe 5 acres, so we can cover quite a bit of ground with that, just 5 acres worth. Then we got to get the planter out and service it, but there's really not much to it. It's an old finger type planter, so throw the meters in it and go pretty much. So it's not too much to do on it. Hope hopefully tomorrow we will get sweet corn planted, popcorn planted, and corn planted. So that's the game plan. We'll see how far we get because it's already, I don't know, 5 o'clock or something like that now. So it's taking us quite a bit of delay to get done what we've got done. That wind, I apologize about the wind noise, but it's really blowing today. So anyways, we're going to get at it and get this stuff put into the tractor. Alright, so we've got the Trimble monitor mounted there. Still haven't got a place to mount this yet. I think I'm going to go ahead and just do that in the morning, throw it up on the roof. So I've got this little bracket here that I'm going to mount on the roof, but I don't have a drill with me, and I don't want to put those lags in there without making a pilot hole first, because I don't want to crack the fiberglass. Now I'm not real crazy about doing it that way, but it's short of taking the actual roof off and putting bolts in there so the lags for just as much as we're going to spray tomorrow. I'm probably just going to go, I'll just put the lags in there, and then when I get some extra time, I'll take the roof off and put some bolts in there and put some rubber washers and that kind of thing. We just got back over here to the farm. I've actually went ahead, I got the antenna and stuff mounted for the GPS, topped off the tractor with some very, very expensive diesel, and we got the water in the tank, chemical ready to go. I'll kind of show you how I mounted the antenna receiver. As you can see, I kind of just mounted that little plate there on the roof. We'll come back and fix that better later. Attached it with a couple zip ties. Nothing too fancy. Cleaned up the cab a little bit with the wiring, but we have the monitor mounted over here where we can see it, so that's good. But other than that, I think we're ready to spray. So, got the sprayer unhooked, and now I'm going to hook up the planter, which requires a 3/4 inch hitch pin, which I used to keep one right here, and apparently I must have used it for something else. I don't know if you can hear that, but somebody is having a good time. I just hope they got some sense and they're shooting into a berm or something, and instead of shooting over towards this barn. I would prefer not to get shot today. Alright, we got all the boxes cleaned out for the most part. So, only thing I have left to do is I got to set the depth. Memory serves me correctly. I just got to move these back one, and we should be ready to plant sweet corn at the correct depth. Then I got to switch over the transmission, make sure I'm planting on the right population. We are going to back our population down just a little bit, probably to 22,000 this year. In the past couple years we've been doing 24,000 seeds per acre, but we really haven't seen a big difference in that. And depending on the type of weather we're getting, if we don't get enough rain, and then it leads to having smaller ears, and everybody wants good size big ears. So we're going to back the population down a little bit, and hopefully that'll take care of it. So for the varieties that we're raising this year, we got most of our seed this year from Harris Seed. This is called Kickoff. This is the first year we're growing this. This is a non-GMO corn. It is not Roundup ready or anything like that, but it is a early maturing variety, so 69 days from the time this pops out of the ground, it should be ready to eat, which is a good thing, because we're running late, right? The next variety here we have is SV 9010. We raised this a little bit last year, and it was a pretty good corn. You know, I'm not going to lie to anyone. I believe Obsession is better, but we couldn't get any Obsession seed this year. There was a short crop of seed last year, and if you didn't buy the seed last fall, then chances were you weren't going to get any this year. I do have a small amount of carryover seed from last year of Obsession, but we're not going to plant that this first go round, because when you're planting seed that's been held over for a year, you may not get as good as germination on it. So we want this first stand to be really good. So, but this is, you know, the 9010 is still a good corn. It's got about the same maturity as Obsession. So, you know, really, unless you really know, you probably can't tell the difference that much. This is our popcorn. It's called Pop Top. I got 10,000 seed there, and I just actually realized I probably don't have enough seed, so I'm gonna have to maybe get another 5,000, just so we make sure we don't want to run out when we're planting. So if I call tomorrow, have them FedEx that to me. Should be here by the time it dries out, because again, I'm going to have to spray that anyway. So that was my goof up on that. But again, the popcorn is not as critical as getting a sweet corn in right now, because it's a 100-day maturity, but we're not planning on having the popcorn ready to sell until this fall anyway. So we'll be selling that when we're selling pumpkins and stuff like that, if it's even ready then, because it's got to dry out and stuff like that. Unlike the sweet corn, you know, you don't want it to dry out. You want it good and tender when you eat it. So with that being said, I'm going to change the transmission over, load everything up, and then we'll head to the field. We got the planter filled up. Well, it's not all the way full, of course, but we're not planting that much. So we're planting a half an acre, maybe a little under half an acre of this variety. So roughly about, we've got about 10,000 seed. So that's, once we run out, that's when we're going to stop planting this variety. Normally, the early varieties like this, like anything under 70 days, it's never as good as like your main season corn, which would be like our Obsession or the SV 9010, which is an 82-day corn, 83-day corn. So the little later maturing varieties are usually your better varieties. They're still all bicolor varieties, both this early variety and the SV 9010. Like Obsession is still bicolor. It's just the sweetness, the super sweets and the triple sweets and stuff are usually a later maturing variety, unlike like the Kickoff here, which is a 69-day. But we switched over the planter on the transmission there for the population. If you never did that, basically it's just a arrangement of cogs here that you have to switch over to get your desired population. If you've got a book, this is the driver. I think this is considered a driver, and that's the driven cog. I wrote that down just so I would never forget it. But the bottom, is the driver, and the top is the driven. And to get 22,000 seeds an acre is 22 cog on the bottom, and the 26 cog on the top. I need to mark them one of these days. Alright, I made a couple rounds. Thought I'd come out here and make sure it's planting at the correct depth and all that stuff. Looking back here, we got seed here in the ground on the trench. So, as you can see, a couple guys here. It's about knuckle deep. That's how I want it. About there. It's about as deep as I want it. So, we're looking good so far. Hammer down. Alright, so we got that half acre planted. Now we got to switch over varieties to the SV9010. So I'm just going to dump this seed out. There's probably not much left at all, if any. I think I might have actually written out there in that last pass. But we'll see. I ran out on that last pass. Which is alright. Well, I got everything tucked back in the barn. I went ahead and unhooked the planter because the next thing I'll be using is going to be the spray when I get more chemicals. On another note on that, I actually figured out it was not the math's mistake. Of course, math doesn't usually make mistakes. It's people who make mistakes, and my math was wrong. I read that measuring cup wrong. I thought it was in just 1 ounce increments. It was actually like in 2 ounce increments. So instead of 10 ounces, I was getting 12 in 15 seconds. So anyway, it made a big difference, and that's what happened there. So get more chemicals, and after this rain comes through, and got to finish spraying up there, plant popcorn. Probably won't plant any more sweet corn until some of that starts coming up. Hopefully soon, in about 7 days or something like that, if it stays warm like it has been. So hopefully it'll be up soon. We still have to plant watermelons and cantaloupe and ornamental corn and green beans. So we still got quite a bit of stuff to plant, hopefully in this coming week after the rain, and fertilize to spread. So a bunch of stuff still to do, as always, but appreciate you all watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.